Hey everybody, ReefGrrl here, and welcome to ReefGrrl Live. I am so happy you could make it. The whole idea here is to have some fun, chat, get some questions answered, maybe show off what you're doing, and get to know each other a little bit better. So sit back, relax, grab a drink. The stream is about to begin. Hi everyone, here we are on Saturday night. I made it this week. No huge emergencies to deal with, and that emergency, I'll tell you a little bit about that as we go along through the evening. First I'm going to say hi to everybody. Tony Close UK Reef was first in tonight. I was chatting a tiny bit with Tony at 7 p.m. here. He's in the UK, of course, so it's late for them. And hello Tony, I know you're back in here. Click Clacks Reef was here earlier as well. Hey Click Clacks, nice to see you. Ryan Shackleton, been out celebrating my birthday, looking forward to listening in and maybe ask some questions. Awesome. Well, happy birthday Ryan, and thank you for joining us. That's great. Hi Marine Life, Doctor of Welsh Magic. Hey Welshie, I know it's the middle of the night for you too. And I don't know whether you can join us in the studio, but if you can, I know you've got something exciting to talk about. So we'll see if that happens later on. There's Stacy Williams. Stacy's also from the UK, so welcome to you too. Straight Reefer, hi there. Broke Reefman 45, hello. Broke Reefman says happy birthday to Ryan Shackleton. That's cool. The Reef and Rican is here. Hello. Producer Reef, how are you doing? Hi Marcus, who else have we got? There's Insane Reefer. Hey Oscar, hope you're doing well. Hi Dan Middleton, nice to see you here. Braveheart Reefer 525, someone else from the UK. WVU Reefer, good morning Vietnam. Yeah, sometimes it feels like war, doesn't it? Hi Calypso's Reefs, how you doing there Hector? Alex G's Aquarium is here. We've got Alex actually in the studio waiting. If you remember, he was going to be disassembling his massive system, and that's been underway. We also have Insane Reefer in the studio, so we'll bring those guys in as soon as I say hi to everybody. Don't want to miss any of you. Hi Taryn of Taryn's Little Ocean. Nice to see you here too. Oh, and there's DC Reefer. Glad you could make it, DC. That's great. I saw your flamed out Instagram post, but I have not had time to actually look at it, so it's got me intrigued. I have to check it out a little later. Hey Robert Poorman, yeah, it's Saturday night at ReefGrrls. Yeah, still in my house, still operating the live streams, and we have dates now for moving, so I'll be able to tell you guys when things will change up a little bit, where I may have to go on hiatus for a couple of weeks. We have to check out whether the internet, it's a rural place that we're going to be living, it's in the country, and we don't know whether the internet there can handle this, but we'll find out. We'll give it a really good try. Hey Johnny Martinez. Yep, hope you and fellow reefer praying for all of stay safe. Yep. Yeah, it's not getting any better anytime soon, is it? A little bit crazy. So you all know I had an emergency last week, and I do apologize for the very last minute cancellation. I had to get over there and see what was going on. In the end, there were 8 dead fish. I will be putting out a video in the next couple of days. There are some tests we still have to complete. We still do not know what happened. Initially, I thought it was the heater. It was not the heater. I did testing with a multimeter to check voltage. Turns out with everything running, my tank had 60 plus volts in the water, which is kind of scary. So we have to make some decisions, but more about that later. I want to get Alex and Oscar in here. So look out for that video. It will show you everything in detail. And I'm also asking if anybody has any ideas when I show you the dead fish. If anyone sees any signs on their bodies of something that might have happened, this has never happened to me ever. I don't have experience with fish dying en masse like that. The green wrasse, my least favorite fish, is still alive. 3 mollies and the Aurora goby. Go figure. So I'm very happy they survived, and now I have to look at herbivores because, of course, I lost my 2 large herbivores, Ziggy the foxface and Pamela the Tomini tang. So there is some algae, even after a week, there is some algae starting to pop up here and there, and I don't want it to get out of control. So that's just a really quick and dirty update. We can talk about it a little bit more if time allows, if we don't have something more interesting to talk about with whoever comes into the studio tonight, Alex and Oscar to begin with, and then who knows, maybe somebody who has experience and knowledge of stray voltage in aquariums and what to worry about. Oh, couple more people. Hey, Nano Joe, nice to see you back. And there's Jessica J. Okay, well, let me bring Alex and Oscar in. And I know Alex has been working on his big tank, and Oscar's always got interesting stuff going on. So let's say hi to them. Here comes Alex. Hey, Alex. How are you doing?
Working hard.
Yeah, no kidding. And there's Insane Reefer, Oscar.
Good evening, everybody.
How are you doing? Did
Doing good.
Did you step out from the party, or is there no party tonight?
No party tonight. Not for me. Cool. I was buying coral today.
Oh, yes?
Yes.
Sounds nice. I bought a coral. Everybody want to see it? I'll
Sure.
show you. I guess I should wait for you to say yes. But so I bought this. Now, on first glance, tell me what you think it is.
Some sort of chalice.
Wait, I gotta run to my.
Leptoceras.
It's listed as an Astreopora. I don't know that it is. The color form and the correlate distribution's wrong for that, according to my Viron books that I looked in. When I saw it on the site, I first thought it was a scoli, and I went, no, it's not. I think it is some kind of chalice, but even the chalices described in the Viron books don't really follow this pattern where how the correlates are situated, and they're different colors. Some are green, some are purple. Now that's under this lighting. I have no clue what it will look like when I actually pick it up, but I have it being held for me. I've paid for it, and probably will go next week and get it. So I'm still buying coral in spite of the disaster.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's. I think I'm still a little bit in shock. I can't quite believe it. But anyway, it's part of the hobby, right? Unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry to hear about those fish. That's never fun.
No. Oh, a few more highs. We've got Robert Poorman. I think I said hi to you. Yes, I did. ATF in the house. Nice to see you, Alan. And there's Reefing with O. Hey to you too. Yeah, DC says moving those tanks is a nightmare, Alex. That is crazy. Oh, we've got Chase V. Hello, Chase. And Click Clack says he had a problem with stray voltage. His fish were acting weird. He stuck his hand in and got a shock. Yeah. Oh, Doctor of Welsh Magic is asking Scully. Yeah, that's what I thought it was at first, but... Okay. All right. That's hi to everybody who's popped in. So, who wants to go first? Oscar, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you bought today?
I bought a couple of things. Well, not today, actually. I bought it last night in a live sale. Well, I ended up spending a little bit too much money, but they look nice.
Mm-hmm. It's always the way.
And I got some new fish, but those been there for a while. Rock is looking pretty good. Starting to get nice color. Calcium reactor's working great. So that's another thing I'm happy about. And nothing much going on, just just a couple of new fish and coral, and I can say that I'm about to start stocking up the 180. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Jessica J's wondering where you bought your corals.
I have a local salesman. He is his name is Gonzo. He's from Colorado, but he moved to Kentucky, so he's about an hour and 15 minutes away from me. Well recognized in the aquarium, in the trade world.
Mm-hmm.
So very nice corals. You can basically compare them to Worldwide, Jason Fox. That's the quality of those corals.
Was that the live sale that you bought from?
From him, from Gonzo, yeah.
Yeah, nice. And how does he do that? By Facebook or?
He does Facebook.
Yeah.
He does Facebook.
Cool.
He does.
Well, nice that.
Go ahead. I'm
nice
sorry.
that you can. Nice that you can trust him and you know the product you're getting. I see a lot of stuff on Facebook that really makes me wonder.
And all his corals is WYSIWYG, so what you see, what you get. And I haven't been disappointed yet. So, and plus, I go see him in person because I don't. He could ship to me, but I'm an hour and 15 minutes away, so I take advantage of that. I just go pick him up, and he's real nearby.
Do you get to look at his stock when you're there?
Yes.
And you know why I'm asking? Because
sometimes sometimes I buy in the live sale, and I wind up buying more anyway when I get there. So
yes, there is always something else you cannot live without. That's how I put it. I've got the coral on hold. I'm considering a lawnmower blenny for the algae, and I have to hear back. I don't know whether this store, what their quarantine policy is, so I want to make sure first that they do some sort of quarantine.
Yeah.
Before I commit. Ooh, ATF in the house. Power out last week in the office and home for a week. Ooh. The temperature on the tanks went to 86.5 and possibly high. Oh boy.
That's not good.
And those tanks have a lot of softies in them too. I know from videos and things that ATF has sent to me. I'm still trying to put together a reefer feature, and I'm trying to sort out why I can't upload quality videos on iOS. They're just really, really poor resolution-wise and everything. It's got to be something I'm doing wrong. Anyway, one of these days I will show them to you because they're really nice tanks that he's got. Let's see.
And I'll show you my corals here in a minute. I just want to know what Alex is up to.
All right, let's see what he's up to. We've got Chase V in the studio. Why don't we bring him in? We'll add him onto the stream. And Alex, if you don't mind, Alex, you can maybe tell us what's happening.
So, well, there's my calcium reactor I just yanked off, and some other miscellaneous equipment. My skimmer that's prepped for the temp tank, and then this is what's left of the 720-gallon tank. I did have one miscalculation, which I was telling ReefGrrl about before we started. So here's the glass, and I thought I might have a little bit of wood to take off with it. Turns out that the RTV that I used is a heck of a lot stronger than I thought. So I had to literally saw the face of the tank off, and I'll have to deal with the glass at a later date when I get to my new house because it doesn't come off. I could cut it with a razor blade, but unfortunately I don't have anything long enough. These are the cross braces, and literally I tried to use some high-pound tusk fishing line to cut the RTV, and it broke that, and it also broke stainless steel wire. So
you did too good a job, Alex.
Yeah. So I had to cut the cross braces out with wood attached to them.
Wow.
So the 720 is no more. It is an empty hole. It was a fun process, though, because anyone familiar with my plumbing knows that the drains were a common drain between them, which is why I have this PVC sticking up. So in order to take this tank down and even get the sides off easily, once I drained it, I had to turn the main return off and then allow the common drain to empty. And then I had to cut it with a Sawzall and then pick up the 720-gallon tank enough to get a roller cart underneath it and then drag it a foot or two away. And then re-glue this plumbing on and restart the main pump. And I think I got that done within an hour. Wow. So I'll step back. Yeah, the Dexter ceiling's gone out of there. All of it. It's all gone.
Wow. And did you have anybody to help you?
My wife put the cart underneath the tank when I lifted it up.
Yep. Hey, that's important.
So it would have been not so fun to try and kick that and do it, but she helped me out there, and then I ended up doing a second lift, and that one I was able to do on my own and put a second cart under it. So with just one, I still couldn't move it. It's hard to describe just how heavy, when you think about this being the bottom of the tank and it being 2 inches of material to cut through.
Yeah.
It did not want to move, but I saved the stand. I disassembled the stand other than a couple of long pieces, and then all the bracing I kept, although the one that was on the back side of the 720 was too big to fit upstairs, so I had to cut it in half. So,
Doctor of Welsh Magic says, all that work, man, I remember it well. The largest DIY skimmer in the world, etc., etc.
Yeah, and then I took the door off, the frame. Today I started ripping electrical, so all the outlets that were all the outlets all the way around are getting ripped out. I'm up to this point now. I ripped the calcium reactor out. Everything just about off here. I ran a couple of extension cords, one to the apex and then one to my skimmers pumps. Those are the only things powered over here. I was gonna wait until move day, but I decided that if I could rip this all out ahead of time, it will save a ton of time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the next job will be to tear the 150. I shouldn't say tear it out because I'm not physically able to move it because of the interconnect lines. But I think that'll be the next thing is to take this tank down, take the UV sterilizer. Well, actually, I might leave that online for right now. Yeah, I got a valve. I could leave it there. And then probably when I'm less than a week out, I'm now debating that I might just take all this offline, or maybe a couple days before, and just let the tank run skimmerless. So
yeah, you could probably get away with that for a short time.
I could always dump my Diablo skimmer in here too. I need to rearrange this tank on the footprint that it will be for where I move. So, because the temp tank's still filled up in the garage, but it's a big downsize.
Yeah. So. Most things probably would be. Oh, and there he is.
Yeah, I was about to ask, why is that egg crate there?
Yeah, so I'm keeping my puffer, whose name is Lardy.
Marty.
Yeah, my wife named him. So I'm keeping him. I'm keeping my Annularis angel. I was very fortunate. My local fish store had one of their good friends that does maintenance that was interested in all the big fish that I couldn't keep in the 720.
Oh, that's great.
And they all went to a twin 800-gallon hotel setup that's been up for like well over a decade. So
oh, that's awesome. That's got to feel good.
yeah, so he even told me when you it's safe to go back to restaurants, I can go and visit them. So
Yeah.
I also kept well, I'm gonna keep my blonde naso. My hawkfish, who's decides which side of the barrier he wants to be on every few hours because he could sneak past it. Uh, and then the Spanish hog, which was on this side of the barrier, and he jumped it.
Oh my God.
So
I
he
heard a
did.
big splash, and I
He
came
did a
over.
wheelie on it. He did a wheelie on it.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be too afraid of the puffer getting over there. But the annularis angel, I no, not so much. He'd start chowing on everything. And right now, this Spanish hog is learning that the purple tang is the boss here. So,
Wow. Roman's Reef has just come in. And hey, Roman's Reef. I'm a little late to the live, but what is he doing? Well, Alex G's Aquariums, this is Alex. He is disassembling his 1,700 plus gallon system, which is comprised or was comprised of a 720 gallon fish only tank. They used to be there. Now it's pieces. And the other tank is a 480 gallon reef tank. And it has yet to be disassembled because Alex is moving. So that's what's going on here. Hey, Pappy Reefer. Yeah, the chat is talking about losses due to temperature. ATF lost a nearly 10-year-old colony of Tropheus morii, Icola Kaiser, and Tropheus duboisi, Maswab wideband, and about a dozen yellow labidochromies. Those are all cichlids, right? 2 places survived again. Yeah.
yeah,
That's a shame. I know how that feels now. Yeah.
So
I'm going to ask you, ReefGrrl, when you tested for the stray voltage, did you have everything on, or did you start turning on one piece of equipment at a time and testing the voltage each one?
We took out the heater first of all, brought it home, and tested it, and there's really nothing. It was like 2. And then we tested the skimmer pump at home in salt water. It was 26. So we immediately thought, oh, it's a Marineland MaxiJet 1200 that came with the Cyclone that I bought, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. And so we thought, ooh, but we didn't know if that was significant or not. I got in touch with Telegram to ask him. He's an electricity guy. And he said that the current wouldn't harm the fish because they're not grounded. So I still don't know. So the other thing I did to answer your initial question there, Alex, was I took the multimeter to the tank and I tested it with everything on, and it was 42 volts. Then I started turning equipment off one piece at a time, and it reduced by approximately 4 volts every time I turned something off. Then I turned off the Jabo, I think it might be a an RW8 or RW4 or RW8. And the voltage dropped by 23. So I tried to replicate that and I couldn't. And then I got confused about what the heck I was doing. So I shut everything off and I turned things on one at a time. And it would seem that each piece of equipment, as it gets turned on, adds 4 volts to the voltage reading. I couldn't get the Jabo to replicate the 23 volts. So honestly, I have to review the video because I want to make sure I did everything sort of methodically and in the right order. But I pulled the Jabo pump, brought it home, and we're going to try and replicate that just in some salt water here and just see if we can, if it's throwing any voltage. I honestly don't know, but when you add everything together, 60 plus, it's like 68 volts in there. And I learned a lot about why a grounding probe only protects you but not your fish. It's a good idea to have one, but it's not something that'll protect your fish because it doesn't remove the electricity that's constantly being dropped in the water. It's a constant presence. Whether it harms the fish or not because they're not grounded, I don't know. Like, honestly, I haven't found that answer yet in my reading.
So here would be a good sort of analogy with that is birds can go on to high voltage electrical lines and land on them, and they don't get shocked. But
that's what Jim Graham said, Telegram, that his example was a squirrel. Yeah,
but if they touch something that's grounded and that current has a path through them, then they are going to feel it.
They're done.
The one thing I would say too is sometimes with those stray voltage things, if it's look for salt creep or any, salt is very conductive. So if there's any kind of salt creep that's trailing out someplace, that could give it a path to flow.
Right. This tank doesn't really have that. Okay. I did read about that, and I mean, I could see how if you have a grounding probe in your tank and your fish touches it, does that cause the current to go through you know what I mean? Like,
well, no, because
that kill the fish?
The current, the voltage is in the water. The grounding probe is making a connection, so it's allowing the current to pass through that. That's why with your voltmeter, if you take a voltmeter and you just stick one probe in the water and you don't touch the other end to anything, it won't measure anything.
Yeah.
If you touch it to ground, though, now you're giving it a piece to go, so it's trying to run there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's the way the electricity will flow. So,
yeah,
that sucks that you had a bunch of loss.
And there are other possibilities. Like when I started reading into it, the other thing I was wondering was if it was related to oxygen depletion in some way. And the very first thing I did when I got there was I aimed all of the power heads straight up at the surface. Even though there was already good surface turbulence because of how I had them, I just thought I want to get more oxygen in here in case that's part of the problem. And another possibility is poison, but we've ruled that out. I mean, nobody sprays anything aerosol. Even if I had hand sanitizer under one of my fingernails because I didn't wash it properly before I put my hands in the tank, could that kill all my fish? Like, I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, it's not an impossibility, but that's a pretty small amount.
Yeah. Oh, Method. Hey, Method. And Hector's asking, did I test ammonia levels? Yes, I did. And there was ammonia forming in the tank. There was not much when I did the first test, which was with one of those little strips, because that's what I did the minute I got there. But an hour later I did another test, and there was somewhere between 0.25 and 0.5. So there was ammonia developing in the tank. And this is going to be in the video because stuff did happen around the ammonia. So yeah, I learned a lot of things, but I don't believe I have learned what actually killed my fish. So I'm hoping somebody might look at them, at the bodies, and go, oh wow, that's a classic case of something. Anyway. Yeah.
It looks like Alex is covering something up there.
Yeah, my bounce mushroom's in there.
Oh.
I didn't realize just how big that thing is when it opens up now.
You want to get rid of it?
No. Actually, I would say yes. If someone were to offer me the right amount of currency in cash.
So here's a question, Alex. Can the fish get shocked if they touch the sand or rock? I wondered about the rock
No,
myself. Okay.
no, because you got to understand is that if you have electricity flowing into something, um, it's there. It's whether or not it has a path to get to a ground, and if it flows, that's when it causes damage, um, and it can hurt stuff. Is that because it's got a path to flow, and now that energy can impact things.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I think I said before I'm feeling like I'm still a little bit in shock because I uh, it suddenly pops into my mind. Oh my God! All my fish are dead. It it just was totally out of the blue, and I think if it had been maybe bacterial or something else, I would have noticed signs. And I'm really tuned into what bacterial issues look like from having had the white slime and watching things like that develop. I don't use any kind of biopellets or any of that stuff. I don't dose bacteria to the tank. Yeah, so it's. I'll go into lots of detail when I put the video out. It's easier if I can explain and show the actual footage. But it was. I feel sorry for my daughter because she's always had a real dread of dead fish. It creeps her out. And she knew how upset I would be, so she just felt awful about it. But I mean, there's nothing she could have done. Whatever it was, I don't know if I'll ever know. Yeah. Let's see, any more questions here? Yeah, ATF is talking about the colonies. Here we go. 40 to 50 fish did not survive. Rare raised and bred them for years. Was awful. Yeah. And that's just from the power outage and the temperature. Like, just at home, he's got a house generator, and that's one thing that we're going to be installing in our house when we move. So, Alex, what's next on your plan? What do you have to do next?
Plan for removal or for a new place?
Well, you had mentioned that you thought you might take care of the 150, and you can't move it, but tear it down.
Yeah.
So I go ahead.
That's the next tank on the list is the 150.
Yep. Marine Life has a question. I think that's Benny. After water changes, he made mistakes dosing alkalinity and using calc. The following day, he did a test on his alkalinity and calcium, and both are reading high. Alk is 10, calcium 500. What must I do? I would check your salt makeup water and see what the levels are there. And if it's less, then you might be able to do some water changes to drop it. But if it's more, I don't know what you do. Because if that's part of the source, just wait it out. What would you guys do?
Well, I think the first thing would be is anything looking bad? Because
Yeah.
I'll give a good example. So part of the reason I tore my calcium reactor out today is despite turning it down significantly, my alk has still, it was at 9.6, which is way higher than I want it to be. And it's at 9.3 right now. And nothing's really looking bad. So I'm not going to do anything other than just let it come down on its own. The problem with alkalinity or any water parameter, if you try to do sudden changes one way or another really rapidly, it can be very detrimental. If nothing's looking real bad, and I don't know what the elk was before, but if you were holding it at like 8 or something, if nothing's looking bad or nothing's deteriorating, I'd probably just stop all the dosing and let it come down on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Just wait it out. Jessica J. Cindy, when you reached in the tank to point the power heads up, did you get shocked? No, but I did have a hangnail on my little finger and it burned. And I just thought that was the salt water, but apparently that's in response to the voltage in the water. That room has a tile floor. I always wear shoes, and I don't think they have rubber soles. But anyway, that's the only thing I noticed, and I just attributed it to, you know how when you rinse with salt water, it can burn or tingle a little bit, and that's all I thought it was. So
Yeah, cut cuticles. That's usually a good sign you're going to get a little, but I wouldn't suggest trying to test that theory a whole lot, especially if something doesn't have a GFCI on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that room has a plug behind the tank near the floor, you know, like it's the normal position of an electrical outlet, and the other outlets are in other places that aren't close by. And we do have stuff plugged into that because it's the only available outlet. It's not a GFCI. And this house is about 30 years old, and my husband has done a little bit of work helping out my son-in-law do some stuff in this area. This is the old doctor's office area of the house. And the wiring is really mysterious. Let's put it that way. So my husband's not, he doesn't like electricity. He's not confident with it. There's certain things he can do, but certain other things he won't mess with. And because he doesn't know the routing of the wiring, didn't want to put in a GFCI. So since then, we have got on Amazon an extension cord that has a GFCI built into it that has 3 plugs. So the plan is to plug that into the wall and then plug the power bars into 2 of the 3 plugs and leave it at that, so that at least it has that. The reviews of this thing were good. Electricians saying that it did the job. So at least it's something. It's not ideal. It's not the way I would have chosen to handle it. And the new house has got GFCIs out the yin-yang. They're everywhere in the house. Not every room, but I have 8 of them in my fish room and another 8 of them downstairs. And,
yeah, I don't know what Canada's code is, but any outlet within 6 feet of water typically needs to be a GFCI.
Yeah. Let's see. Johnny Martinez had a question here, and we have Hector in the studio. Let me just put Johnny's question. Did you check your ATO pump or any voltage in your ATO tank? My ATO is something called, you're gonna laugh, called the Moisten Land. It's actually a plant irrigation system, just like the Dripping Pro that I use to dose calc. And it has a water tube that goes into one of those big 5-gallon water jugs. So the hose comes out, goes into the little pump, and then it comes out the other side and goes into the tank like a separate hose. So it does travel through the pump. But no, I did not check that. It's not on all the time. It comes on for 10 seconds every 2 hours, 24/7. So that is something to check. It's something I have not checked. So thanks, Johnny. That's a good suggestion. You never know, right?
Yeah, when that turns on, does it have a constant stream of water or does it drip?
It has a constant stream of water, but the hose is not underwater. The water goes into the tank from about an inch above the water.
So if that water stream is connecting, that could be a path for electricity to flow.
Yeah, so that's a good thing to check.
And I know that
Yeah.
works because when I worked at a local fish store, that's how I got shocked really bad once.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. I will check that because it never occurred to me to check it because the water does travel through the pump. So yeah, maybe I just got lucky that I've never had my hand in the tank when the ATO was on. I will see. Yeah, no joke.
It all comes down to the path of least resistance.
Yep. Yep.
If you happen to be it, you're gonna be the one that feels it.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Cue Balls Reef. He's got a 180 build series coming. Stay tuned. That's awesome. Well, let's bring Hector in. He's showing us some stuff over here. And by the way, now StreamYard has been upgraded to where we can have 10 people in here. So
Nice.
me and 9 people. Yep.
Hello, Cindy. Hello, Alex. Insane. Chase B. What's going on?
Hello.
What's up,
Hector?
Hector? Again.
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 Not much. Here, relaxing.
Nice.
Sad to hear about the fish, Cindy.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
My clownfish, 5 years old.
I know.
I've had them for 5 years. My angelfish pair, the Genicanthus melanospilos, the spot breast.
Yeah.
The only way I can replace those is to buy 3 females and hope that one becomes a male.
Yeah.
And then pick the least dominant female and try and trade her back into the fish store so she doesn't get killed by the dominant female.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
it
I
was
can
a
get
bad
pair
week.
again.
It was a really bad week for you, for me, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Horrible.
No kidding.
I saw a lot of posts, a lot of fish dead through this storm we went through and all that too.
Yep.
So it was sad.
ATF was talking about that. I don't know if you saw that earlier. ATF in the house with losing all his cichlids. That's a shame.
It's crazy. Crazy.
So here's my rock. The way it's looking now.
Oh, let's put Oscar up here. Where is he? Oh my gosh, I got so many people at the bottom here. Where did you go? There you are. So you're showing us the corals added to your rock now? That's nice.
Well, corals, as far as corals, this is what I got new. A couple of acans and micromucilords, or however they want to call them nowadays.
Yep. And was that a nasotang
Yes,
you have
it
in
is.
there?
That's
What
one
do
of
you
my
think
new.
of-
That's one of my new
That's-
fish.
Nice. And what do you think of that fish? Do you like it?
I love it. I love it.
That's a beautiful
It-
fish.
And it's a baby. This is only a baby. She's only, or she or he, I don't know. It's only like 3 inches long. But
The place.
she loves me. She's always eating from my hands and everything now. So
That's cool.
I got that one. And I got that new red face Salone fairy wrasse.
Oh, nice.
The yellow chorus was already there, I guess. I don't know if you saw him a couple of
Yeah,
weeks
that
ago.
was. Yes, I remember that. He was just.
He was a
enjoying
little
life.
smaller. He was a little smaller. He's gotten bigger. And I got a new clownfish because my male clownfish died for some reason.
Oh. Yeah.
So I winded up getting another mocha storm clownfish.
Yeah,
And
Ryan Shackleton says he'd love to show his nano tank, but it's the middle of the night over there. Yeah.
so this is the Tyree Pink Lemonade, which is a little bit green, but it's starting to adjust to the water and it's getting its color back. That one back there is a Cali Tort. It started in crust and it's growing.
Nice.
And these are the new ones that I've got today. So I don't know if you could appreciate that.
Oh, wait a second. I'm going to put on my orange glasses.
Okay.
Hey, it works. It does. Trust
Yeah,
me.
I got them on.
I'm seeing the
I can see
colors
them.
now.
Yep.
Go
So-
back, go back.
Yeah.
This is a bubblegum millipora.
Pretty.
This one right here is a PC rainbow, one in the middle. And this green one is a tulip. I guess that's the name that he put on it. Tenuis.
Mm-hmm.
That's he told me
Logo
that
polyps.
he told me that was a it's kind of like the home wrecker. It has a little bit of orange on the top, but you have to get the top view on it. And this one right here is a yellow tip acropora.
Nice. Q-Ball's Reef is looking for some stocking ideas for a 180. He loves schooling groups and wants reef safe on the fringe.
I would say chromis.
Yeah.
Chromis. And that's a Jason Fox Fox flame right there.
Nice.
That little one. I lost half of it. That's why it's so small. Because I cut it off and I was able to save the little nub. So hopefully that comes back. It's been there for like 2 weeks. So I think if it hasn't died yet, knock on wood, I think it'll be okay.
We heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so Doctor of Welsh Magic, how long has this tank been running? It's almost exactly a year, isn't it, Oscar?
No, actually, this one turned 6 months. This
Oh,
month.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been up and running 6 months. All right,
I
here's
really like the rock work.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I did some work on that one.
Really nice.
I wanted a lot of open space.
It looks beautiful. This is kind of the feel that I want in my next tank, is a lot of kind of really, really airy open structure with lots of swimming room and lots of open room for flow and lots of surface area for coral.
The best thing is the patience he had with this tank. Really patient
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, yep. ATF in the house is wondering if people have used reef rock trees. What you think of those? I haven't heard of those.
I've seen a few, but I haven't seen it in the tank yet.
Is that like the Carib Sea?
Like the
Ones-
branches, maybe, is what he's talking about.
Yeah, maybe.
I've seen them. I have a handful of pieces of the Carib Sea real reef rock, but I had never tried their branches. They do look nice.
Oh.
Pricey though.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex, you have those on the left side of your reef tank, right?
Oh no, that's actual real branch.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got these are the real deal. That was like part of the last shipment my LFS ever got of them.
Yeah. Yes, I believe I got some of the last Tonga branch rock available from BRS in 2017. Yeah.
It is tempting to maybe try and mold them, a couple of them or something, but I don't know. I still have no idea what I'm going to do for Aquascape yet.
Yeah. ATF is suggesting pyramid butterfly fish as a school, and you know what? That's one of the ones on my list. Is at least 3, maybe 5. I love those fish.
Beautiful fish,
and,
yeah.
And they're relatively easy to look after. They're not finicky or delicate.
Yeah, the hardest part though is shoaling fish in saltwater tanks are not easy to really get fish that do it like that real tight. We're gonna hang out together as a group.
Yeah, they need a lot of swimming room for that.
I'll be back in a second. Hold on.
Okay.
1 sec.
Oh, it looks like we lost Chase V. Do fish... Okay, here's a question. Nick Soynath. Soynath? Do fish stress more with a minimal scape?
I wouldn't know the answer to that. I do know that they need places to hide.
Yeah.
So if they don't have places to hide and there's a fish that's bullying him to death, I would say that's a matter of stress.
Yeah.
I would agree. You know, I consider my reef tank to be a little more minimal scape, and especially the smaller fish, the damsels and the royal grammas all had territories picked out, and they didn't have enough of them yet. It usually results in death.
Yeah. So even with all that branch rock, they were still unable to get the space they needed?
I tried to keep my stocking limits with some of my azure damsels. They each took about a quarter of the tank.
Hmm.
And they attack me when I go in there. They don't mind other fish as much most of the time, but they really don't like me going in their territory.
Wow.
The royal grammas have a couple of different areas they like to hold up in.
I guess it depends on the fish too. Like royal grammas, engineer gobies, that like to, kind of claim a piece of rock somewhere or substrate.
Yeah. Well, and that's with the structure that I want to build. My plan is to have a lot of small overhangs with hopefully sort of little caves nearby that will give some space for fish to sort of claim a territory. I'm seriously thinking, like, who was it that had a whole bunch of damsels? Was that you, Alex?
Well, I got a few reserves, and then my big fish tank, I had some orange bellies and those purple pseudochromis, but
I'm thinking of someone that had like a dozen or more, or 20. I can't remember who it was that put 20 damsels, or I'll have to look into it, because the whole theory there is much like tangs, I guess. The more there are, the more the aggression gets dispersed. So they don't end up...
See, now they follow me around. I'm see if I could get the Naso to eat from my hands, because she's I would like to think that it's a she. I'll just say she, and if anything, she could just yell at me.
Yeah. Well, I have a chance to get one. The guy that has the lawnmower Blenny also has a small Naso, and the timing is such that I could move it into the new tank as it needs the space to grow.
Nice.
And if the quarantine question is that yes, they are quarantined, I may seriously consider picking it up. That is one of the fish that I want. I was thinking a blonde Naso, but they get too big. 18 inches in a 6 foot by 4 foot tank I don't think would be fair.
There you go.
The fish. Nice. Hey, Skookum Chuck. Nice to see you.
Skookum. How you doing, brother?
WVU Reefers thinking of purchasing an Apex and a PMK monitor. Any thoughts?
I think
go for it.
I think he should.
Yeah, go for it. Even before you get the tank.
Yeah. Apex is good. It just gives you peace of mind that
Yeah.
your temperature is doing good. Anything goes wrong, it could detect it. It all depends on how much you want to add to it, because you could always go with the most basic system and then just keep on adding to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would say go for it, but don't put everything on it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Single point of failure and all that.
See, all I have on mine now, this is the geeky part, is my Apex right here and my little baby right there. I love that. And of course, you guys have seen my calcium reactor, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm desperate for a testing system of some type, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not. I don't plan on going Apex.
Alcotronic.
Yeah, but I don't have room for something the size of a sewing machine. So
And
although I say that, but I
Yeah.
will have room. So maybe I don't
and
know.
it kind of does sound like a sewing machine too.
It does, doesn't it?
My lights are getting blue, as you can tell. The lights they go down at 11 o'clock. So
Yeah,
now it's the 1 hour of blue lighting that it gets. So hopefully you guys can appreciate the corals even more now.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nice. Yeah, Nick Soynath says a couple of wrasses, a Tomini tang with 2 clowns, hoping it's okay in 100 gallons. I can't see why not.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're not breaking the rules like me.
Yeah, I went with I went with his naso, and minimum tent size is 180, which is what I
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
But if in the future I see that she's too big for the tank, I'll probably just consider getting her a new home.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
want
they
her
can.
dodging acros and all that and getting stabbed. So
No, exactly. They can hit 40 centimeters, which is 16 inches,
Yeah, that's
and
a
that's
big
pretty
fish.
big. But
Yep.
then that's usually they give the wild sizes, which are rarely achieved in a home aquarium. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
who knows, right?
Yep. Only in public aquariums you see them that big.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Chimp the Reefer, nice to see you. Marine
Chimp.
Life, saying hi.
Chimp the reefer. So I'm gonna say, me and Hector, we've been talking a lot lately over the phone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just sharing tanks and what he's doing and what I'm doing. He was we were actually talking today, and while I was acclimating my coral, we were talking, and he was doing his water change and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm starting to do weekly water changes. Amazing. Finally,
Now you
I
guys,
started doing water changes.
It's that high stakes 40 breeder you got going on there.
Thank you, thank you. It's my nightmare and my pride and joy at the same time. 'Cause, oh my god, I went through everything with this one,
I bet.
but
Here, I'll
it's
put.
up and running, and
I got you
oh
up there. Hey
yeah,
Doc, Doc is suggesting the
thank you.
Senai. I might do that. I don't know. I have to look into it a little more. We'll see. I'm at a loss because I want something that will also do my testing for me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. The GSL, that one, huh? Little
Yeah, I'm
price, but
thinking
it
about
looked
it.
nice. Yeah, that one looked nice.
Yep. And there's enough people that I really respect in the hobby that use GHL
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
that I've kind of chatted a little bit back and forth, and I would feel quite confident that if I needed
Yeah,
help, I could get it right
yeah,
from
yeah.
people who are actually using it.
Using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, WVU Reefer says he's not planning on using it. This is the Apex to control everything, mostly lighting and monitor. Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, and that was that discussion a while back about whether you want a controller to use as a controller or a monitor.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things.
Yeah, I would say more monitor, so you know where things are.
Yeah.
And I tend to be in the monitor with some control, but you know, if the thing fails, it's not going to kill your return pump and your power heads and your lights. You know, I don't know if O is still on here. Uh, I know he had his brain on his uh, Apex dive once and did not have
Yeah.
a great outcome.
I remember that. Oh yeah. Nick Swinath, the API tester came out for some fish stores, so maybe it'll be out soon for public. Yeah, I've heard about that. And if you're on Instagram, check out ReefGrrl. He's the guy that runs the Reefapalooza shows. And I was lucky enough to meet him in Chicago. Nice guy. And he had a video today about the API Aquaspin, and it's the tester. So it'll be cool to see how that works.
Yep.
Tim McRae says, "Hey, Tim McRae. Nice that you're here. I love my GHL cage director as well as the GHL controller." Yeah.
Yeah, everything I hear about that one is good things.
Here, Cindy, I'm gonna show you here if
Okay.
you want to see here my little 29.
All right. Let's get Oscar back here. Oh, yes. Got
There's a little 29.
glasses on. Looking good.
I have the filter, but I have the yellow filter. I might have to switch it out a little bit, but
You have a domino damsel in there.
no, that's a clown.
Is it? Oh, a
Yeah.
bullet hole
Yeah.
clown. Cool.
It's a domino clown.
Domino clown. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Who's he fighting with? Another clown?
Yeah, that's the little one. That's the little male. That's a naked clown.
That
Yeah,
is
so-
really attractive.
Got some gray on it in the top.
It has black on it now for some
Black?
reason. I don't know why.
Uh,
I hope it's nothing bad.
those XR15.
Oh yeah. And here's my oversized Royal Grama. He's like 3
yeah.
inches.
Big fatty.
Yeah, they get huge.
They eat a lot.
That might. It wasn't sold as a Brazilian Royal Grama, was it?
I don't know. Is there a difference between a regular one and a? Is there 2 different types?
It's just locale. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen a mark specific from Brazil, but I remember back when I used to work in a store, the biggest ones we always saw were from Brazil.
I have the same one. It started small, now it's huge.
That's a. I think it's called high voltage tenuous. I believe it is. I don't know.
Good night,
That one's
Doctor
doing pretty
Welsh
good.
Magic. I gotta put my glasses
I think
on
my
now.
shirt is messing up the colors on it. There's a PC rainbow here. I got one upstairs and downstairs.
Hmm.
And that's a millie of some sort.
Mhm.
Can't remember the name of it. Nothing special, but that's another acro tricolor. It's growing pretty nice. And here's some frags I got for Hector.
They coming my way.
Yeah, coming your way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
They're doing pretty good there.
Nick says it looks fantastic. Nick Soinath.
Thank
that
you.
little
Thank
tank
you,
is
Nick.
doing really good.
I switched my
Those
Apex.
sunny bees.
Oh, nice.
They're all fluffy and lush.
Brian Shackleton. Oh, comments jumped. Do you guys run more blue or white for Acropora? I seem to get better color with blue.
Well, the white is for growth, and the blue is for coloration. So if you run blues, they are going to grow anyway, but they'll grow slower. They'll grow more fast if they're under white lights.
Yeah, I don't know. I had always understood that the white is for human eyes, like it's for us, so that we can see the colors better without so much blue light. And the blue spectrum is where they live in the ocean because of the filtration that happens of light that gets absorbed. Interesting, but then you think of reefs that are really close to the surface, and they have to be getting a considerable amount of white light as well. So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, out of experience, when I was running my old radions, they were more towards the blue spectrum. It was all blues. And this Acropora did nothing. As soon as I switched the lights out and put it more towards the white spectrum, well, the white lighting, it took off immediately. So I don't know what the science behind that is. I could be wrong, but all I can say is it has worked for me. Like this tank runs on whites at least for like 6 or 7 hours a day, and then they turn towards the blue spectrum.
Nice.
And with some Monte caps, that one's growing, has a little white rim around it.
That one looks
Can't
good.
see it much.
Does it have dark purple polyps?
No.
I have one that has dark purple on red. It's really interesting.
Nice.
It's a plating one.
That's the season's greeting. It's growing.
Yeah, I found my season's greetings did absolutely the best with huge polyps, always out in low light. Any part of, because I have quite an extensive little network of season's greetings, anywhere that they are in the shade, they seem to get larger polyps and really great color. It's interesting.
That's a little red Ghani.
Love Ghanies. And Ryan Shackleton also had a question earlier about, I know you guys probably have grown these. I never have. Walt Disney Acro. He's asking any tips on that.
I have my first nub.
Hector, I was about to say, Hector has one.
Yeah. I can't say much yet. Let's see. Give me a couple months and I'll let you know.
I'm starting on tenuous right now. So, and it's gone good for me. And I could say I could probably keep a Walt Disney alive right now. I have the confidence that I could keep it alive.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I could say I didn't have the confidence to keep any Acropora.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
Go ahead,
beautiful.
Hector.
Yeah. No, mine, I just got it the other day, so little story behind that frag that I'm not going to keep bringing it, but it's doing good. So far, so good. Went through a blackout 3 days, that power outage, but it's doing really good. So far,
Cindy.
so good.
Cindy.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you remember the forest fire digitata that I found in the back that was bleached out, polished white?
Yeah.
Look at it right there.
That's awesome. That is great.
I cut it up and I made 2 frags of it.
I was going to say you got one on the left that's got kind of 2 lobes and then one on the right over there.
Yeah.
Near the mushroom. Cool.
It colored up real nice.
Yeah, this is going to look really
Right.
good when they all grow in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Nice aquascape.
Yeah. It has an underpass there, if you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Skookum Chuck said he watched a Tidal Gardens episode, and if he remembers correctly, Than said, in the winter months when it's darker, the corals have more color. But he says he could be wrong. He's been wrong before. Oh, yeah.
Who knows? Everybody get different results.
Well, watch a
old-
video on. I'm sorry, Cindy. Watch a video on Reef Builders when he goes to visit Jason Fox, and Jason Fox says the same thing about the blue lighting. It's they only get direct sunlight certain times of the day, but then all they get is blue afterwards. And he says he grows better coral with the blue lights, but I just guess it's a big debate. So
Well, I
who,
have to
who
tell
knows?
you, right now, the white lights on the holding tank are turned right off. There is no white light at all on that tank. And it's only because the stress that it's been going through, you'll see in the video, the acropora, a lot of them have suffered. And I just, because of where they are, I turned the white lights off just for this week, just to give them a chance to maybe recoup some of their energy, given all the tissue that they were losing. So, I had some problems with that as well, but that's my fault because it was something I did. And I will tell you about it in the video. So you got to wait for the video and see, yet another stupid thing that I did. That was totally my fault.
It's good,
And-
to
we
record
all
and
do,
put out a
yeah.
video. We all learn from it.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Thinking of getting an octospawn for my LPS rock. Do you have any experience with them? I've had octospawn and I really like them. I would say medium flow, and I kept mine on the sand bed. So, I don't know. What about you guys? Have you had octospawn?
Not me.
I've had them in the past. Yeah, they just like a frog spawn. Medium to low water flow. Generally, they could be by hammers and other frog spawns, but not torches.
Yeah.
Or bubble corals.
Yeah, bubble corals are very aggressive.
Yes, they are.
You know it. And the wild ones.
That's why mine's got
the
like a
worst ones.
6-inch barrier around it.
Yeah. Looking good, Oscar.
Yeah, I'm loving it. My 4 little heads of Rastas back there. I've had them since October.
Well, in my in the holding tank, the blue-eyed blondes have, I think, 10 polyps now, and I had them in the reef here when it was in the house, and it took probably 2.5 years for them to go from 2 to 3.
Wow.
And in the intervening time, in the last maybe 5 or 6 months, they've gone from 3 to about 10.
Yeah.
So something's finally happened with them. They just took their time to get established, I guess.
Mine did the same.
That's a nice looking. Is that a Recordia right there? Florida Recordia, or is that a Yuma?
Yeah, it's a Recordia.
That look,
Florida.
yeah, it looks like a Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really like the color pattern on that one. Looks like it's about to split.
That's what it looks like. But it only has one mouth right now. I hope it
Yeah,
does
I
split.
have to come up with a new strategy to keep Zoas in my new tank because the plan did not work out very well in this system.
So I guess your
See,
wife
here I
will
have them all
have to go
spread out.
down to the basement, Alex. Your wife will have to go down to the basement to see the zoanthus, right?
Yeah, she's looking forward to being in a finished basement, the new home. But yeah, the strategy I'm going to have to take with the zoas is each species is going to have to be on a separate rock or branch or something so that they can't interfere with each other.
Yeah.
Because the nirvanas like overtook like most of my big plate that I used to have a ton of different zoas on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some zoas grow too fast.
I'm always cutting back purple monsters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking if I put them on separate rocks, or have them separate where I could separate them real easy, that might be the way I go.
Maybe you could make yourself a modular zoa garden, if that's probably what you're thinking, where the rocks would all sort of lock together, but you could also take them apart.
Yeah, like something. I guess I hate saying it because it doesn't sound great, but almost like a Christmas tree, but have each rock that you put zoas on, like on a piece of PVC or acrylic rod,
Mm-hmm.
so that they're separated like an inch around from each other or something, so they can't stretch over very easy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then if
that's
they
true.
grow too much, you could just yank that rock out and put
Yeah.
another one on.
Yeah, that's true, because if they are touching each other, you're right, they will overgrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Kind of
Click clacks.
like the aquascape Amara did. That he can remove the colonies once they start growing. I like that style.
Yeah. Click clack says, funny how mushrooms that used to cost $10 are now 200. Oh, so true. I remember when giant multicolored yumas that were like the size of your hand across, because I bought 3 of them. I got 3 of them for $40 in about, I want to say, when would that have been? 2013? And 2 of them were in my Pico tank, my 1.6 gallon Pico, doing great. And of course, lost them in the meltdown.
I say you'll love them until they start growing like crazy, and then you don't want them anymore. It's like, oh, I have so many, I can't even get rid of them.
Well, what I hate is when they walk off their rock. That drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's how they make new babies. They kind of twist themselves till they rip, and then they just leave a little nub behind, and that one grows into a new mushroom.
Yep, yep. And Ryan Shackleton's asking, how do you guys feed your corals? Do you target feed your SPS or just put it in the flow?
I broadcast.
I do both.
Yeah. I generally broadcast, although, well, now I don't have my my grow out frag tank, but I used to target feed a few things in there, just to make sure they got stuff.
Yeah, and I think I was just thinking about that. I had 13 fish, and now I have 5, and only one is big. So I might have to watch nutrients because I don't have fish contributing like they used to.
That's sad. Yeah. Heartbreaking right here. Sucks.
Yep.
Because you buy them so small and then watch them grow to this beautiful. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Tomini Tang was the size of a quarter when I got her.
Wow.
And she finished up being almost full grown. Not quite.
Wow.
Click Clacks is asking Alex, what's the plan? Are you getting a new tank? Nope, did we lose Alex? Alex, you're muted.
You guys hear
There
me?
we go. You're on now, yep.
I was gonna say, I am going to build a new tank, but I have not decided on a size. And I don't think I'm going to tell anybody the size. I think the only thing people are going to get to see for a long time is the fish room. Because I have decided I'm going to build out my fish room first.
Nice.
Mainly because I'm going to reuse my skimmer and for sure my 265 gallon sump. And then there's a very high chance that my 480 and 720 are going to become part of the filtration system. I'm going to rebuild them with a different method.
You already know. Hey, Alex is about to buy the block.
He's about to go big.
He buy the whole block, and he's going to build a 25,000 gallon tank.
Nice.
It won't be that. It won't be that large. That's beyond the size of the space that I have available.
But it's gonna be big.
It will be large, and I am going to build it myself again.
Nice.
I know he's planning on swimming in it. That's what he wants. He's going to scuba dive in his tank.
No comment.
That'd be a nice build. Nice.
Yeah, I have some plans to do something that's totally different method. Right now, it's just I've kind of told my wife what I want to do, and she's kind of looked at me really funny. But
hey, we all get that look.
I got that look when I said I wanted to install solar tube skylights above the reef tank within the canopy, so that what came down from the ceiling was the tube, and to get natural light into the tank. So I don't think that was a very good idea, but anyway.
I had a real crazy idea for that. I maybe one day I'll toy around with it. I think it could work, but what I thought about for that was, especially if you're a higher latitude, higher than me even, and the sunlight you get is just not that great. Mm-hmm. What I had thought about doing was making a solar culminator, similar to what they do with all those mirrors.
Yeah.
And make them focus into a point. But instead of just putting that light raw into a tank, when you concentrate it into a solar tube, you hit it in a very large prism, and you use some other mirrors to only strip out the spectrum that you want.
Right.
So you could reject the infrared and the colors you don't want, and just keep the ones you do.
That is interesting to think about.
Yeah, it would require quite a bit of technical experience to make something that could track the sun and have moving prisms and.
Yeah.
But then you can get the spectrum you want out of sunlight.
Yeah.
I love Hector's single city now.
Yeah. Nick is asking you guys about wrasses. Are there any wrasses that don't necessarily have to be a pest eater that are just cool? What would that be? What would you choose? You guys.
I think they all much go for pests anyway. It's in their natural behavior. But if you want something cool, I would say yellow coarse wrasse is pretty good. Has nice personality. You can see how he looks for his pillow before he goes to bed.
Yeah.
I would have to say flasher wrasses are probably one of my favorites. I wasn't successful with them in this tank, but when you get a male that is swimming around doing their displays all day, that's really a cool sight.
You're talking about the one that has the long fins on the top?
Those are
nice. They'll usually have like 3 or 4 spikes on their dorsal towards their anal fin that they'll spread out.
So do you need a female or females in order to get those displays from the males?
No, a lot of times when they see their reflection in the glass or acrylic, they get angry at it, so they display to it.
Cool. Oh, good night, Ryan Shackleton. Thanks
Good night.
very much for coming by.
Let's see Hector's tank now. I love that tank. I was
Yeah.
telling him this
Beautiful.
afternoon on how his tank looks so full, and he just set it up. But of course, you know, he switches rock and all that. I'm like, man, I wish mine was like that right now.
Go back to that Zoa garden over there.
Right here.
Yeah, see that? Oh, that looks so nice.
That's
Thank
beautiful.
you, thank you. Yeah, some
That-
are
and that-
becoming more dominant than others, but to be expected, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. It looks so nice when they're all together in that kaleidoscope, but yeah, it's not fun when they start outgrowing each other.
Yeah, I seen that happening here. Like my rainbow hornets, they were looking nice. Now they hiding down here.
That Bamson drag and
Yeah.
He's got all the high end stuff, man. I'm telling you.
Not really.
I'm gonna have to drive up there to Connecticut.
what? Oh, that's okay. Those look like gobstoppers,
Those
Yeah.
are like purple monsters or something like that.
Fruit Loops, Bam Bams,
Yeah, Bam Bams.
Eagle Eyes, watermelons. I think are those.
Those look like radioactive dragon eyes. Those green ones.
Yeah. Yellow subs down there. This one are Krakatoa, some type of Krakatoa. Here, I don't know the names for these. I know this one is the Sweethearts, but all these no name.
I can't remember.
I could
Well,
say
then,
that's pretty much what I like about the softies are the Zoas. It's the only softie that I like right now.
And thanks to
Yeah, I guess-
Benny Fernandez, he gave me a bubble tip,
Nice.
a rainbow bubble tip.
The gift that keeps on giving.
If you want to get a cool soft coral, get a Stereonepsia.
Nice.
Is that your pink one, Alex, that you've got?
Yeah,
Is
the
that
one
is?
one
Yeah.
species is yeah.
I have no idea what he just said. What is it?
Those softy ones.
It's like
Kinda
a finger leather.
Yep.
This one's it's more like a carnation coral, but it's photosynthetic.
Oh, hey, Gabe's Reef Tampa. Welcome. Johnny Martinez is wondering what kind of water bills you guys get.
Oh no, it's not too expensive.
Have you got Bowser's in there, Hector? Look at
Bowser's,
all of
no.
those. Oh
No.
my God.
Yeah, this is my new view now.
I obviously have not been paying attention the last few days.
I
Wow.
like
Yeah.
I like the little hexagon cells.
I told
Yeah.
him that today. Yep, I love them.
Those are regular tiles. Just
Like
regular.
just, you just buy in this tile store?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yep.
cool.
I put them in fresh water for a while, and then just and they seem to be doing good. They started
Wow.
to encroach in it, growing in it right there, with no problem.
So it's on
a
the back,
Monty here.
right?
Yeah, on
What
the
kind
back
of-
of it. Yeah.
What kind of design do they have on the front, Hector?
I'll show you. I got them over here. no
I'm
design,
just joking.
plain.
I'm just
But I
joking.
show you so you can see how they look like.
Okay. Oh, Click Clack says his yellow chorus wrasse has matured and has orange stripes on his face.
This is what they
Oh,
are.
I see. Okay, yeah.
So I use the rough side 'cause every time I glue anything here, so it's
Yeah.
smooth,
Oh,
they come out.
no.
So here's better.
Oh,
Nice.
that's cool.
Yeah, a little better to organize them than tiles and circle frags or disc.
And they're porcelain, right?
Yep, porcelain. Yep.
So are they inert? Then you won't get any leaching of anything.
Yep. Yeah, I asked like the instruction, just trying to read whatever they made them from, and nothing seems to be crazy. It's gonna kill the reef.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so far so
I
good.
think if they're standard tiles, as long as they haven't had like inkjet printing on them or something, they should be good.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So,
I'd
and
say
things
they
are
should be
growing in it.
pretty good to frag off of them too. Like use a bandsaw if you wanted, let's say a piece of encrusting leptoceras or something like that. You could just cut it with a bandsaw.
Yeah, because there are tile saws out there, but
Hmm.
they usually operate on do they score? And then you break it like glass, or how do those things work?
Well, it's
I'm
funny.
thinking of a different tool, maybe.
It's funny because the bandsaw that they use for fragging acros and all that is actually a tool to cut tile. That's what they use it for.
Yeah. Cool.
That's what I heard
ha-
anyway.
We have a question about light. What light do you guys? Oh, hey Jerry H, welcome. What light do you guys prefer, AI Prime or Kessel? He has a 2.5 gallon Pico Reef with an A80, and the colors are very good. He can't seem to get the same coloration with an AI Prime. Any thoughts on that?
Pico.
How many gallons?
It's a Pico.
2.5. 2.5.
Just get that for a Pico. You don't need an AI Prime for that.
The Pixie. The
The
Pixie
Pixie's
30.
still alive. And it's running that. So, I mean, yeah, no controllability like an AI Prime, but it does the job.
Oh, hey, Alex, here's a question for you. ATF in the house. Anyone know if there are other colors besides green of those chip corals? Pavonas? I think they're Pavona. Which ones look fuzzy?
Oh yeah, the Pavona.
You have others, don't you?
I just have I have one Pavona, and I guess the other one's kind of in that, but it's not the potato chip kind. I want to say there used to be a brown species of it around too, but
Well, I have an encrusting Pavona, the Jason Fox Freak Hair. It's got a magenta skin with neon yellowy green short spikes on it.
yeah, I got the
Tentacles.
freak hair, but the potato chip one, that I don't think there's any other colors I'm aware of that. I wish there were.
Is that
Yeah.
same one I got back there?
Yeah,
It
Hector.
looked like a
I
potato
think
chip.
that's what
Yep.
that's what they were looking at. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, ATF in the house is asking, and also Hector, producer Reef is asking whether you have Bowsers in there.
No Bowsers. Nope, not yet. Not yet.
What about Yodas? You got Yodas?
No. I want the Gatorades.
Acid
Hey,
reflux.
don't listen to him, Alex. He's lying to you.
No, I
he's
don't. I
hiding
don't.
them.
I don't. This is all I have here. This is all I have here. I stopped buying those because it's too much. They get out of hand, and then you need the space to put them in. Right now, this is just gonna be for grow out and then just spread around. That's
yeah, but
it.
once they all fill in, can you imagine how that's going
Yeah.
to look?
Yeah.
Like
True.
really?
It's gonna
And
be
you can move them
a.
around. If you want to
Mhm,
change how the
mhm.
colors are, you can move. Wow, that's
It's
pretty.
gonna be
That
like
too.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
like grass, but with zoas. Imagine that covering the whole floor of the tank.
Mhm,
You won't
mhm.
have to vacuum your floor anymore.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh yeah, but you'd be surprised at the crud that would go down between
Oh
them.
yeah. Look at this one. I put a frag underneath so it could just flow through it.
Yep.
This one don't get that much crap underneath, but those, oh man,
Yeah.
because they kind of like it goes like in a little curve in the inside, so I have to put a frag on it and lift them up.
Oh, Gabe's Reef Tampa says he has a blue Pavona and he's seen bright orange.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. And
I'd
here's a
take both of those.
question. Yeah, there you go. Something to look for. Add to your collection. And Nick Soynath is asking, do you think utter chaos zoanthids are really zoanthids or pallies? Because they look like pallies, but they're called zoanthids. I always think of them as pallies because they do look like
they're
pallies.
huge.
Yeah, I thought they were in the Pally family.
Like the Godstoppers too. Look how huge this one.
Gobstop.
Yep.
Yep.
I love those. I got a rock of those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they beautiful.
Yeah, my
Hey,
Sunny
look at this guy.
my Sunny D's have corkscrew skirts on them. Oh,
Are they in
the
real high
pleaters.
flow?
Yes. They're very long, and the it's like ringlets all around them. It's weird.
Look at my barnacle Blenny.
I love those fish. Reef
Yeah,
Spy had
my
those.
favorite. I think he's my favorite from the tank. He don't bother nobody. He mind his business. He just dart for the food and go back. That's
Yep.
it.
Oh, Hector, Jerry, who asked the question about the Kessel versus the Prime, just got a Pixie 30 for a 7.5 gallon. Ooh,
Yep.
somebody's got MTS going on. What percentage are you running each channel?
The maximum.
Maximum.
But except the channel 4. Channel 4, only click the button twice, and that's about it. And no whites. Just I think it's channel 1 and channel 3, which are the blue ones. Those are 100% or to the max. And channel 4, just hit it twice, and that's it. No whites. Because channel 4 also has the whites. The UV, the whites, I think the purples or blues. So, but those I only do it for like a couple hours during the day, like 4 hours, 6 hours, and then just put the blue ones back. It's a it's a thing with it that you gotta control it yourself. But
yeah.
if not, I just run all blue all day, and tank seems to be doing fine like that.
Yeah. Oh, Terran's Little Ocean said, crazy storm here, just lost power. Thank goodness for a Generac generator. Terran, I'm going to have to talk to you because that's what we're talking about, getting a Generac. See if you have any hints and tips about that.
Ask Hector.
I'm familiar with those, and the one. If you want to know about Generacs in the 1 megawatt range, I do have a little familiarity with those.
Oh, cool. Okay. Oh, Alex, you've got a tank there. Let's just take a quick look. Oh.
Let me.
Everything is
back.
blue and red.
Yeah, I saw a whole bunch of colors there on the little icon. Hey, Petsotics, multiple aquariums. Nice to see you.
Exotics.
You running gyros in that tank, Alex?
Yep, there's 2 gyres, 100% random, and then 2 MP40s on the SPS end.
Cool.
Oh wow! Look at that name.
Yeah. See, if it weren't because I don't want an M running around my tank, I would love to have one. And I don't want it to split.
That's why I say anemone, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
You gotta bubble tips don't go for walks as often. Although I did have one take a walk into the bubble coral last week, but usually when they're on island rocks, they tend not to bother things too much.
That was the bubble coral right there?
Yeah, it's closed up a little bit right now.
Whoa,
That's massive.
Take the
I have
whole
a question. I got a question for you, Alex. If you have a fish that spits sand into the bubble, does the bubble have a hard time with that? Does it negatively affect it?
I don't have fish that do that on a regular basis.
Okay. Because the green wrasse always used to do that into Lucy, and I'm convinced she ate so much sand she almost died.
Generally, they'll push it off as long as it's smaller quantities. If it's really high quantities, though, yeah, it can start messing with them pretty bad.
Mm. And there's a Pavona, is it? The green
Anybody
thing?
want some Nirvanas?
Nirvana.
I
Look
do.
at them all. Hector.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's a
Oh
lot.
my
That's a
God.
whole island right there.
Holy smokes.
Wow. Amazing. And those are the gas stoppers? Whoa. Look at, yep. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. I love my swords. That's why I didn't get rid of them.
Yeah, Jerry H says, guys, beautiful tanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Skookumchuck says he mounted his gyres on the top cross braces. He can recommend it. The sand needs less attention. So how were they not out of the water? I'm not able to visualize this.
Well, I guess if you dropped it down, the only problem is I don't know what that backside magnet is. Tank safe.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, good night, ATF in the house, Alan. Thank you for coming by tonight.
Okay, recharge.
This is the first time I've been on the stream for weeks, and it already just blew away.
Oh, what do you mean, Oscar?
Look at that.
It just went so quick.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh.
Tell me about it. I'm doing my best to try to get to bed earlier to get my body clock shifted to more civilized hours, because this being up till 3 in the morning is not good for normal functioning, because there's so many times, especially lately, when I have to get up early. And by early, I mean, like for me, 9 o'clock is early. It's just not enough sleep. So
Yeah.
it's, it's one of the things I avoid doing now. After the live stream was over, I would check the replay just to see if I missed anything in the chat, or, should make a comment about it or whatever. And I can't do that anymore because then I'm up so late.
Yeah. Tell me about
I guess on the weekends.
Again this week.
Yeah. I'll do the same thing in the weekends. Like after the stream, I'll just get on, and sometimes I'll watch the replay, and sometimes I just keep on watching other videos and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, last week, the replay did not pick up the chat or the full 2 hours and 43, or 2 weeks ago, I guess, until about 2 days later.
Is that the one with Monica? You had Monica on?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we missed the first 43 minutes for the first couple of days, and that's when Taryn of Taryn's Little Ocean was on, showing us her tank. So I was very happy that YouTube came through and did finally process the rest of it, plus the chat, because that's what I like to do. Especially, it's hard for me to keep up with it, and it's quite surprising sometimes what I miss. So that's generally why I watch the replays. Oh, Skookumchuck says, check my channel to see how it's done. All right. That sounds like a good idea. So Skookumchuck, you had mentioned about moving your 12-footer was going to be done this week, I think. How did that go? We'll see what he says.
Oh, trust me, I don't want to know nothing about that no more.
Yeah, I don't want to know anything about moving, period.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'll have a story for you in a few weeks.
I feel you, bitch. Alice is going through it. I know it's all fun, but it's also a lot of work. People don't see all the time invested in making these reefs and make them work. It's a lot. I still gotta. I'm doing the stand for the 14 gallons now at work. So I gotta drain it again, pick it up, put it in in the gutter stand, and then finish doing all the cable management and all that. The headache.
Oh, okay. Skookum Chuck says was supposed to move today. The new owner decided to change his stand design. Wow.
Oh.
I hope he has another tank somewhere else to worry.
Yeah. Are those birds' nests, Alex?
Oh no, those are finger leathers.
Oh, cool.
And then hydnophora.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that's the mint, and then that's the biota, and then there's a couple of standard green senularias up there.
Mm-hmm. Man, oh man, you've got so much going on in here. It's got to be pretty tough to think about having it all dispersed.
Yeah, and I still got to sell a lot of coral, and you know,
Wow.
I gotta, you know, I am gonna keep my big softy rock and my xenia colony going.
Yeah,
This xenia is just so massive.
no kidding.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the kind of xenia you want to throw away though.
No.
It's the giant valley stuff. So it's only one stalk with like I don't even know how many heads now.
Is it purple?
No, it's white.
Kind of looks purple.
Yeah, it's just the blues going on it.
That's beautiful.
So does it frag, Alex?
Yeah, you
Like,
could frag it. I haven't
yeah.
tried on this one yet, but I'd just chop off one of the heads and put it in a tray of rubble and let it take its time.
Yeah. Huh. Oh, Skookum Chuck says he's moving next week, and he has a 120-gallon kiddie pool up and running.
All right.
Do you guys want? I'll show you my temp tank.
Oh, that'd be great. Someone was asking about that a little earlier. I think it might have been Jessica J. I don't know if she's still here.
Yeah, let me put my tops on here so that nobody
Yikes.
tries to jump.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go for a walk.
Here, Hector's got some more zoanthid glory going on down here. Look at this.
No, it's the same ones. Still the same, but I can show you my plumbing nightmare.
Okay.
How I plumbed the system. So, the mission begins. So yeah, so this is my mace down here. Hold on, let me turn the other light. Where is the control? What am I doing? Come on, where are you? Where I need you? Anyway, but no, that was better with the filter. So here is my two main drain. One is the safety, the curvy one, the one that goes everywhere. Then my main returns right here, which go to that pump right there. Then this one was running Dave tank, which go in the back of that.
Oh, yeah.
In the back of it. And then turn to this flexible hose here, which go to the return. And that's the drain from this tank. And comes right here. And just go in the loop right here. It goes inside the refueler. But it's working.
Cool. Yeah.
That's the good thing. It's working. I got access for the filter cups. So that's a plus right there.
Yeah.
And yeah, my reactor, the skimmer, and the second pump running Dave tank. So far, so good. And I got a bug that took a dip.
Oh, jeepers, a June bug.
Oh, man. It's still alive.
Wow.
You're lucky that I don't like to kill animals. Just let me catch you. There we go. So she's still alive. Lucky her. But yeah, so it's, I mean, a little mess down there, but organized at the same time, workable.
Mm-hmm.
And now I got
Yep.
more space, and so I extended the stand. That was the plus that I did to this tank. And then once I finish that, that mess will be picked up. Probably put the controller there, hiding that plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't want to cover in case I need to access.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that corrugated hose, you might end up with having to clean that regularly, because those.
Yeah.
Well, you would know they do catch a lot of stuff. I know that from experience.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Probably I do something that at least I could move forward a little bit. We'll see. Because now when I do the other stand, it's gonna be at the same height as this one. Which I'm liking this view better. One a little lower than the other one.
Yep.
But we'll see. And then my DIY light mount. That's another thing.
That looks so sleek. I really like how clean that looks.
Right? It came out. I was
very
surprised.
nice.
It's nice.
Once
Nothing in the way.
Yeah. And that's made out of that square right there.
Yep.
From the
cool
extra stand that I bought. So a little thing, little sack is peninsula style, and I got it against the wall. But I was trying to convince the wife. She let me put it right there in the long way, and they just put this one a separate system. She's thinking about it. But then I gotta move this from here back over there. But I will do it just so I can have access to that other side. Because now I gotta just go by reflection from here just to glue anything that I want to glue on this side.
Yeah.
And to clean the glass right now, it's a mess. It's just, but it is what it is,
Only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
It looks good though.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, like I say, it's my pride right now, but it was a headache. After the leak test, everything was good. Then it was a major leak. Oh man, I drained this tank like 10 times, trying to figure out what was going on. It was a mess. I spent a whole night trying to figure out, and at the end, I drained it enough, and I siliconed the overflow box. No more leaks. And waited like that to the following day, 24 hours, so I could refill the tank and pray for no more leaks. And so far, so good.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
For a bare bottom tank.
Like this build way better than the ones I had before. Way better.
Yeah. Oh, I think Alex has arrived at his destination.
Yeah, I had to take the dogs out. So.
Let's see what he's got over here. This is the temporary thing you got set up. Wow.
It ain't pretty.
Hey.
But it works, right? Cool.
7 feet long, 3 feet wide from edge to edge, so it's about 30 inches or 29 inches inside, and then it's like 16 to 20 inches deep. I can go with it.
It's the size of a coffin.
Okay.
I looked at it and I went, "Is that a coffin?"
Not exactly the reference I was looking for when I have to move my babies in it.
No, but if it works, right?
Yeah. No, it's just a 2x4 frame with plywood in it, and then there's underlayment, and then a 45 mil EDPM liner.
Huh.
So
cool. Nice.
But it's been filled up for a week now, and it hasn't leaked yet, so I think we're going to be good. But I just gotta do a little bit of trimming, since
just a little,
a little flowy.
And you know what? You would trip on that, and that wouldn't be a good scene.
Once you trim it, send them my way so I can cover my stand. I need something like that. No, I'm serious. I need something like that because I
I
don't
don't know.
want to
This
put no
stuff.
plywood or nothing.
Yeah, you'd never think how heavy this stuff is,
No,
but
I bet that's what they use for ponds.
yeah, this is not.
Similar.
This is the heavy stuff too. So,
Ooh,
like I said,
yeah.
it's 45 mils thick.
Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Crazy. I bet it's heavy. Like in weight as well, right?
Super heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's a 10-foot by 20-foot liner, and like I got the box, and I was like, "Holy crap, this thing weighs like 60 pounds."
So
So
where you have it now is where it's staying.
no,
No.
this is this is the
Oh my
garage of my
God! You
old.
still have
This
you
is my
still have
old
to
house.
move it.
No, so here's this is the plan with this. So this is why I built it. So I'm testing it now. I'm gonna put the skimmer onto one side of it. And then I got one piece of wood here for like where a light will get mounted. And then I'll do another piece there. So I think I'm gonna do just a couple of radions, and then I might use my tuna sunlight to grow some algae over here.
Yeah.
So be skimmer, little refugium area, divider, coral, and then another divider to hold the puffer and the angel in an area.
Right. So it's all one system. Like it's
Yeah,
all
no
continuous.
sump, no
No
nothing. And
pipe.
then
No piping. Yeah.
um, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna yank my UV sterilizer off and put that in here too.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be a
Wow.
skimmer, a little bit of algae, and a UV. And I'll have to put a heater in here, which I gotta figure out a mounting method on a piece of PVC so it doesn't melt a hole through the liner.
Yeah. Do you think it would get hot enough to do that? Or I guess it is a risk that probably
Yeah,
wouldn't.
I don't. I'd rather not test that theory in my townhouse.
Yeah. Good point. Here's a nice compliment for you guys. Nick Soynath says he's been a sub for a bit, but never really watched the stream. He's really been missing out, and he's really enjoying the stream. Amazing info. So there you go. He's really enjoying it. So you guys, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
Thanks for the
so
words, Nick.
yeah. When it's moving
Wow.
time, it's in 3 sections. So I remove the
Yeah.
plywood, take the sections apart, move each section and the plywood to the new place,
Yep.
set it up, and then it's going to be a really long day because everything I'm keeping is getting moved here. And then once it's up and running, I'm going to turn around and come home and rip out the entire reef all the way down to the glass.
Wow.
Because movers are coming like 2 days after, and I have to have everything in a state to where it could be moved.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's going to be like a 20-hour day probably.
Yeah.
And when I moved my tank, I gave myself the luxury of time because I knew that if I stressed out, it would not be a good scene. And I feel really fortunate to have been able to do that. I had all the time I needed, and it worked out way, way better than I expected.
Yeah, the good thing is that my temporary house that I'll be at while our new place is built is only a mile away.
Right.
So I can probably do 2 or 3 trips to move this stuff there. And then set it up will probably take like 20, 30 minutes. And then I can go ahead and start grabbing salt water and hauling it over.
Yep.
Because I'll just take water out of the sumps or the tank and start filling it up.
Yeah, my logistics were that I had to have salt water ready because I removed water from my sump as if I was doing a water change so that I could put the tank water in the tote that I was going to take sections of the reef over. So then I had to replace that water with new salt water, then drive the 45 minutes then go and of course I had the tank up and running already, which was good. And then just put the pieces of the reef into this other tank with completely different water. I did my best to actually add some tank water where I could, but basically it went from my tank to the other tank, and it step by step it actually worked.
Well, I guess you were fortunate enough that at least you had somebody who you could trust and,
Yeah. Yep.
watch over your tanks while you're not there.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing that probably, you were happy about.
Oh, definitely. And because she's babysat the tanks before, she kind of knows the things that when they don't look right, and
Mhm.
that is a huge help.
I'd probably be freaking out if, let's say, I had already bought a house and, moved everything over there while I'm still trying to, either sell the house or whatever, and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, not being able to pay attention and see if there's something wrong at the time.
Yeah.
Like when you go on vacation and you leave your
Mm-hmm.
nephew and your auto top off stops working, like what happened to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's only so much you can explain. I mean, I, I'm decent at explaining things, but um, there's only so much you can tell somebody that they can take in and actually take action. So I usually just, like, when the skimmer was overflowing, I just told my daughter to shut it off because that was the simplest way to handle it rather than try and
Yeah.
explain what to do.
Get a bucket, take a line, set the line, get some salt water.
I know, right?
Uh,
Oh, hey, there's Tina's Reef.
Hello,
Hello, everyone.
Tina.
And does
I
everybody
Tina.
know that Tina just became a grandmother this week? So that's really awesome.
Well,
Oh,
congrats.
congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, and welcome back. And I hope you're fully recovered from your surgery. I remember all that, how long you had to wait for that. And there's Mr. DKH. Hello. And Marcus's Reef getting in late. Oh, she's walking on her own now. Good. And her granddaughter arrived. That's wonderful. Marcus just brought his new tank home today. Okay. Johnny Martinez, Alex, he said, that's so awesome. It does look like a casket. Alex G, when you get to move it, I'll be a pallbearer. Beautiful tank.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that saw it in half trick a couple of times, so
Yeah,
it's
cool.
gonna be a little more tedious when it comes to moving to the brand new house.
Mm,
I might try to take this 120 or my 265 and just set that up real quick and move it into that real fast. So
hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's beyond stressful, and
Uh-huh.
it's been very emotional to sell things and dismantle something that took 2 years to build. So
Yeah. I'm a stress eater. So between COVID, buying a new house, selling a house, moving a reef tank, we've gone through a lot of what we call virus chips, and it's got to end soon. I've got to get back to going for regular walks and relieve some of the stress. So this last week sure didn't help, but quite honestly, I was just so involved. I was over there every day working, trying to get things stabilized, and I did 2 very large water changes. And you know what that means? It means hauling 2-gallon jugs with lids of water. So the most I could take at a time was 12 gallons. And I did that twice on alternate days. and a couple of smaller ones with other salt water that I was able to take over. But going there and back every single day is just exhausting, and I think that's one of the reasons I haven't completely processed the loss of the fish yet. I've just been so in there getting the tank back to where it's stable. The water's clear again. The fox coral's opening up again. So the acros I lost still have some. I don't think I've totally lost them. There's still some tissue that's fluorescing. One of them is bone white, but it had polyps out. So I'm not taking anything out of there until I see what happens with it. But yep, when you go through a whole thing like that, I mean, it is hard on you.
Give me a second here, Cindy. I'm gonna switch my phone because this one's dead, so I have to switch over my other phone.
All right.
It's sad. I was sad to hear.
I'm gonna lose mine in a bit, but I don't have a backup. That's on my to-do list of things to do after I close on my new house, or on this house, is buy a new phone.
Yeah. What are you going to get? Are you on an Android right now, or do you have an iPhone?
I'm Android, and I'm going to get another one. I just don't know which one yet.
Right. Cool. Marcus's Reef is going from a 29 BioCube to a Red Sea Reefer 300 XL. Tiny upgrade. Yep. There's, Oscar can tell you about that. There we go.
All right.
He's back.
Got my other phone.
So, Alex, you've got, or Hector, you've got a cleaner wrasse. There's a question here from Nick about, would a cleaner wrasse be good in a tank that's new, or should he wait for things to stabilize? What do you think?
I'll let Hector tell you, or I could tell you.
Yeah, I've never had one.
Well, cleaner wrasses, you might want to have a lot of fish because they feed on parasites and they feed on dead skin and all that. If you don't have a lot of fish, they'll just starve and die.
Is that all they eat, or would they eat?
Well,
fish food?
they do eat fish food. But they rely more on picking at fish and cleaning fish.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've had my cleaner in my reef tank for 3 years, just about. And yeah, he's always busy with somebody, but he eats a lot of regular food too.
Oh, hey, Drama D. Nice to see you.
Drama D, what's going on? So yeah, I wouldn't put him in a new tank. I would just wait a little bit till you get more fish, and just to be safe.
And so I don't know anything about what their maximum size is. Would a 29 be a good enough, like the right kind of size for them to have enough fish for it? Do you think?
29 gallon. I don't know. To be honest,
I think it'd be a little on the small side.
I mean, I guess the only option would be to overstock it and have over-filtration to keep the water good, but that's kind of walking a bit of a balancing act. Yeah, Marcus's Reef says he would wait.
If you wanted to get something that'll do the same function that'll work in that size tank, I'd go with a cleaner shrimp.
Yeah, they're entertaining when they actually, when they work together with the fish, or when the fish realize what that is and they work together. Mine have never done that.
I like cleaner shrimps too. They do a good job. The only thing I don't like about cleaner shrimp is that if you have nice meaty corals and you're feeding your meaty corals, they're just going to go right in there and take all the food out.
Yeah.
You just got to bribe them with a really big chunk of And I hate to say it, but I always like giving them a big chunk of shrimp that was too big for them, and let them eat that, and then they won't mess with the coral because they can't consume what you gave them.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Well, and I
lost my
think
cleaners. I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, but they only live a couple of years, so.
Yes, I had 3 cleaner shrimp. I called them the 3 sisters when I first started the reefer, the XL425. And when the green wrasse got big enough, I swear he decapitated one of them because I know he's the only fish that was big enough. The hawkfish was fine. The hawkfish never did anything. The flame. But that green wrasse, he is a wrasse hole, that fish. And then the 2 of them lasted a while, and then I can't remember what happened to them. I think one of them had a bad molt maybe, and the other one just disappeared. So maybe they did reach their lifespan because I had them probably for at least a year and a half.
Now, one question. I don't know if anybody here knows about hermit crabs. Do they molt? And if they do, will they leave like the body behind, just like the cleaner shrimp?
What kind?
Hermit crabs.
Yeah, hermit crabs will molt the same way.
Because I've seen bodies of hermit crabs in my tank, and it looks like just a wrasse picked them up from the shell and kind of ate them up.
That.
I don't
because
know if
there's flesh on them.
On
the back part. Yeah.
I don't know if it's that they're molting or it's that they got eaten by a wrasse or something.
You could have a couple different things happening because they do molt. Generally, if a wrasse rips them out, they're going to eat them. But the other thing that could happen too is when hermit crabs, every time they molt, they get a little bigger. When they're looking for shells, sometimes the shells have an occupant, and they decide that they want the occupant's shell. So sometimes they'll rip them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wish you guys could see this. My mandarins are spawning right now.
Oh,
wow.
Cool.
I don't think they can be seen. They're going up in a circle right now.
So they're doing like their little dance or something?
Yep. I doubt you could see it, and I know the filter won't help. But yeah, the male and female, they come up together and they kind of go up to the top. So
I can see fish moving around. But it's a little blurry.
yeah, it's not a good time. They're dancing up right now.
Yeah, I could see them.
Oh, I can see them. Yeah. Cool.
Well, maybe try and get this angle. Maybe that'll be better.
That is neat. Yeah, Oscar, there's more people in the chat saying yes, hermits do molt. Yeah. And Drama D's asking about how's everyone's tank temps been heat wave here in SoCal. Yeah, earlier in the stream, ATF in the house was talking about issues he had where he lost a whole bunch of colonies of cichlids that were years old because of heat.
But before I started shutting everything down and we started getting some long stretches of 90-degree days, my tank hit. I think it hit 81, and I shut off my UV sterilizer and I think a couple other things I started toying with shutting off, and that brought it back under control.
Yeah.
So now my question is, where do you live in California, Alex?
I'm in Illinois, so but we were getting some heavy heat too.
Now, do you have central air in your house?
I do, yeah.
So how would it still go up?
A lot of the reason is because of all the equipment and what I was doing for humidity control. It helps kind of keep that air and heat in one space, and I don't have a AC blowing straight in there.
Okay.
So if it gets that, one of the things I did too was like open up my door when I still had one, so that cool air could get in there a little bit more.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
good night,
basement
Taryn.
is real cold. My basement. If I didn't have a heater, I would say my temperature would go down at least to 60 something degrees down there.
Wow.
And the winter time for sure that would happen to me, but right now it stays right around 77, 78 degrees. So that's why I ripped the heater out a few weeks ago.
Oh, hey, Tyler D. And good night, Taryn's Little Ocean. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, looking at the time. Wow. I can't believe how fast this time goes by.
Yeah, I got all my electrical ripped out that I needed to, so I got my job done for today.
Awesome. Oh, we've got Skookumchuck Reefer. Let's bring him in and see what's happening with the 12-foot tank.
Well, I am down to 6% of my battery, so I'm gonna take off for tonight. But thanks for having me, and good talking to everybody.
Well, you have a good night, Alex.
Yeah, you guys have a good night, and we'll see if I can still make it on the next couple weekends. I'll be on.
That'd be
Sweet.
great. Thanks for coming by, Alex. It's always great
Hopefully
to
this
see what's
evening.
going
Yep.
on.
Great
Good
seeing you
luck.
too. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
I don't know if
Alright,
that's
Good
right
night.
side
Night.
up or. And I
Oh,
don't,
I
don't
think
know
that's
volumes in,
right
but or
side
not.
up.
I got earbuds for all the difference that's gonna make.
Can
Here
you
we
hear
go.
us, David?
So that's how the power heads
I
are
don't think
there.
he can hear
Yeah.
us. You can hear us?
I can hear you. It's broken. It's like it sounds like talking in a culvert.
Oh,
Yeah, I think there's a little lag.
I don't know how clear it's gonna get. There, we're getting a bit better. Okay.
hey, Josh
I've been called
Powell.
worse.
Good night,
No, I shouldn't
Nick.
say that.
Yeah, put my mic on
Here we
mute,
go.
man. It's not. It sounds like a static noise.
Yeah, I hear static. Let's see who that is.
What are
Oh,
those
it's not
castles?
I
Hector.
hope it's not me.
Let me see
I
if
could
I'll
try
mute your
taking the
mic and
earbuds out and
see.
seeing if that clears it up.
Maybe. No. I still hear a little bit.
Nope.
Yeah,
Still
I'm not
coming in
hearing the
broken
static
here.
now. So, Skookumchuck, you still have a lot of stuff in that tank. Josh
There is still
Powell.
quite a bit of stuff here. Yeah, none of it's been moved. The bubble coral's eaten, so that's why it's closed. Also, the lights were just turned back on just before I came on.
Right.
So they've been off since for about 20 minutes they were off, but some things are partially closed up.
So what's happening with the
Yeah,
contents
nothing's been
of
moved. We
this
took
tank?
some water out of here and a few things, so the other guy set up a 120-gallon kiddie pool with a skimmer and a lot of things in it and get it all going. We were going to move today. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out. So I guess there were some design changes on the stand that he had built. So we'll see
Good
what
night,
happens
Benny.
there. I guess tentatively now
Thanks
we're
for
moving
coming
it on
by.
Wednesday. Hey,
Yeah.
Benny, have a good night. And
Wow.
yeah, it's going to be an exciting, very busy Wednesday. He's asked me to kind of look after the aquarium after the move. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
A lot
that's
of things are
good.
just taken off. I can't even remember the name of this chalice.
Oh,
The
that's
green on it,
cool.
the little green spots on the 2 o'clock position. That's all new growth,
Wow.
which is kind of nice. And I don't know if you remember that
pagoda that was almost. I'm gonna walk around here. There's the overflowing can because I haven't cleaned the glass. This is gonna be hard to see. There's a whole bunch of hair algae on it. I don't know if you recall how about 3/4 of that had slow tissue necrotization going on, and
Yep.
just to show how much is growing back in a short time and how neglected this aquarium has been, or it wouldn't have that hair algae all over it.
Wow.
That's my fault.
Yeah, they're pretty resilient.
These seem to be okay, and I've got to, I guess, clean the back glass off in the next day or so. I should have cleaned it off before I came on your show. There's a conch down here somewhere.
I see a couple of frags there.
There, everybody's having a good night, I hope. So far, it's been an entertaining evening. There are a whole bunch of tiny filter feeders on that, just to the bottom and all over the shell that mushroom on that mushroom. I don't know how well they
Oh
show up.
yeah. I had those once.
Could
And
probably
it's
try
like they
adjusting
come in
the light.
waves. Yep. And you know what? Those little tubes that they're in are really sharp. And they will go right through gloves, as I learned. Yep.
They
Hey,
will whip?
Bahama Llama Coral. Those
Bahama Llama.
Yeah.
Bahama Llama is here. Those little fan worms, the shells that they're in are really
Oh.
sharp. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess there's a heat wave in the UK
So,
as well. They're
yeah, this
talking
is the
about
return
temperatures.
where I put bubble.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about your gyres being...
I'd attached on the return. The gyres are up on top. They're not mounted on the side glass. They're now mounted off of the
On top of the
top.
brace.
So that's one.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
the other one. Was just the magnets sit on top on the cross braces, and I got some stuff up there because I was feeding things earlier, and probably help if I washed that glass or cleaned it as well.
So the water
Yeah, that
level,
would
the
help
water
farm a
level's
few
high
other things,
enough.
I bet.
The water level's high enough that the gyre is actually in the water, even though it's up. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't think they would work in mine.
They are. I took
because I have like 2 inches of water from the brace.
no.
Yeah.
I was concerned about keeping the motors cool and having them submerged. And what I did do, there was one of them that I had to take some of their magnets. They were good sized magnets, and I put them on the bottom side of the glass, so the motor would be comfortably enough submerged. I wanted them to make sure they were cooled and had enough water on them to stay cold. And they seem to work really well. Seems to, a lot less detritus and things are moving, and there is really good water flow throughout the aquarium. And there's no pressure on the end glass, which I, found that kind of an appealing thought.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Huh.
So it took a while to place them, but so far it seems to do really well. And honestly, I haven't had to clean the sand nearly as often. It's pretty dirty right now, but again, I haven't cleaned it for a couple of weeks. And you haven't had me on your show for a while, so there's been no real need to clean the glass or look after the sand.
Get yourself a sand con.
Yeah. I love those.
That's what keeps my sand so clean, Cindy.
Yep. I had 4 of them in the reefer, and I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of them might still be alive. The fighting conchs. I had a queen conch. I managed to kill it. I think I did a poor job acclimating it. I still have the shell though, and I'm saving it for. I don't know if you remember. Once on this stream I talked about I want a giant crab, like a big crab. So I have this conch's shell that's about 3.5 inches long. I'm keeping it.
Well,
Yep.
Look who's still alive. My pom
There's
pom
a
crab.
tiny little bivalve on this rock. I'm not sure what kind of an oyster it is. I'm hoping it's a spiny oyster when it grows up. I don't know if you can see its mouth right there. I don't know how well that shows up.
Is it right at the front?
That's probably about half the size of my.
Wow.
Pardon?
Is it right at the front there?
It is not there. It's on this rock, kind of on the right-hand side of the rock. And
Oh yeah, I
there
think I
is,
can
yeah, probably too
see
much algae on the glass.
stuff.
Oh, hang on. Get back on the rock. There it is there. See if I can change the angle a little bit. It's pretty small. Oh, and I can't apparently focus on two things at once. Oh well. So yeah, there's a few bivalves. I'm big fans of them. I'm not a big fan of the lawnmower blenny that killed them all off before, but that's the way it
Oh
goes
dear.
sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, it's how you learn,
And yeah,
right?
happy with the way the buyers are working in the setup here. They're doing a fantastic job with detritus and getting everything down in the sump and getting the water clean.
That is interesting.
Which is nice.
Yep. Very cool.
Well, I guess I'm a caller tonight.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so this is kind of how the aquarium is. The guy that bought it has an idea. He kind of wants to set up the same, which is okay. I did have some issues with the conch in one area because the rock was just too close to the glass, and it used to keep. I'd find it flipped over all the time in that one area, or it would get trapped, and I would change that in the aquarium and make sure that it's not. If I was going to get it, make sure that it had enough room to move around and it wasn't going to flip itself over, and then got
Yeah.
babies in it.
Yep.
Well,
That's
anyway, you guys have a good
down the end
night.
of the aquarium.
I'm
I
Yeah.
heading
cleaned the
out now
glass.
here.
It probably would.
Yeah.
Good night.
I see you, Hector. See you,
Yeah.
Cindy.
Good night.
Good night, Oscar. Thank you for coming by.
All right. See you, Skookum Chuck.
Yep. Stay safe.
All right.
Good night. Have a great night. See you next week. Or sooner.
Oh.
Yeah, things have
here.
closed up a little bit because I had the lights off. And this was this here's the return, and I attached a bunch of huge barnacles on to kind of disguise the water, make it look a little more appealing. The blennies seem to like living inside the barnacles,
Oh yeah.
as well as the assessor fish, I think, is over in one of them. I don't know. It's probably gone in its hole to sleep tonight.
Good night, Alex. See you
That's a cool
hopefully
idea.
next week. Oh, maybe he was
Hey, Alex,
wishing
have a
Oscar
great night.
a good night. So you still have a lot
So it's
ahead
going
of
to be.
you to move.
I think so. I suspect he only lives about 40 minutes away with all the tourists over here now. Holy smokes, what a nightmare it is getting around.
I bet.
And we'll see. He should have enough hands and enough vehicles to load everything in and probably take it all in one trip. So it would be mostly a matter. He's got time once we shut everything down, I think, to start moving the corals and the rock into the kiddie pool. I would kind of, maybe it'll start tomorrow night. I'll have to try getting a hold of him again, and
Yep.
Drain the water down, catch the fish. Once all the corals and the rock are all out of it, get the corals out, lower the water, get the fish out, take the sand out, and then he can move the tank. And while the water's draining, other things can be done too. That's going to take probably 2.5, 3 hours.
Yep. Well, I can tell you from my move, it took twice as long as I
Yeah.
thought, and that was the advice that I got from Pete, Laminar Flow, in a comment when I was talking about what I was going to
Right.
do. He said, allow twice as much time as you think. And you know what? That's
I
exactly what it
believe that's
was. Yep.
that sounds like good advice.
Yep.
So far, I mean, glad he didn't move it the other day because he came by again and then decided to change the plan on his new stand. He was a little bit
Mm,
concerned about the weight or something. I'm not sure what. So,
yeah.
anyways, hopefully that's taken care of. If it could, could have been a nightmare. Get it over there, fill it up, and everything collapses.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. That's 12 feet of something that's got to be perfectly level and able to hold the weight once all the water's in, too.
Yeah, about 4,000 pounds or something close to that.
Yep.
That's a lot.
I think the
Yeah.
glass, just the glass in the aquarium, is close to 700 pounds.
Yep. That sounds about what the calculations I had to do to give the builder. We've got the structure built under the
Mm-hmm.
floor to handle 4,100 pounds. And that's for roughly
For the
300,
support, yeah.
300 and some gallons. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure it's overbuilt, which is good. Um, but yeah, it sure adds
Yeah,
up.
yeah, I would want that in the event of an earthquake or something.
Yeah. Well, we don't really get that here. We're pretty much on in southern Ontario.
You're on the other side.
Yeah, we've got the shield pretty close to us, and
Uh,
we don't get that here. But you guys do for sure, out on the coast there.
once in a while.
Mm.
Yeah, once in a while. It hasn't, we haven't had one that's really affected us yet to the point where it interrupted power or transportation or anything. But
Yeah. Mm.
you never know what Mother Nature's planning for.
Oh, you're not kidding. I'm watching Hector's fish. That cleaner wrasse is a camera hog.
Yeah,
Yep.
All the
And
photo
it is.
the
bombing.
yellowfin. They love it. I was gonna get rid of them, because I know they better off in bigger tanks. I
Yeah.
got rid of Flame Angel. I gave them away. Broke my heart giving them away, but
Oh yeah, he was in the sump, wasn't he?
yes. Now he's in a 75 gallons,
Good.
so he's good now. Yeah, getting along with all the
it's
fish
probably
in
more
the tank.
comfortable there than a sump.
Yeah, definitely. Um, he don't got no corals to nip on, so he's good there. And also the 6-line Rask, he was getting a little feisty.
Right on.
Yeah,
Mm.
you know, sad because we got attached to the fish, but it's all for the
Yeah,
best of the fish.
that's right.
So now,
Mm.
just still trying to figure out now that now I got the setup going. My clown, my female, still something's happening to her. I wonder if it's an internal parasite.
Hmm.
Um, None of the other fish got it, or I don't know if you've seen that parasite they attach to the tongue of the fish and don't let them eat. It's some
Oh
type of
yeah.
bug that attached to the tongue, and that's
It's
what
a
I'm trying.
parasite that doesn't let them eat, yeah?
What happened? What you say?
Oh, I think he was just
Well, you had
commenting what you
mentioned
said, Hector.
parasite that, yeah, about the parasite that wouldn't let the fish eat.
Yeah. The one
Mm.
though, it's like a big roach. What it look like. So, but I wonder if aquarium fish can get them. So, could she just get in? I mean, she's active. She eats well. but she's just skinny, and all you can see is the bone.
Wow. Oh, Josh Powell's asking about my Cyphastria. My Cyphastrias are doing really well. I have a copper
Nice.
Cyphastria that I thought had died out because it got zero light and it was behind the skirt of a chalice, but it's out in the open a little bit more now, and it's probably about the size of a nickel, and it's like a brilliant dark orange copper color with white like corallites, the white mouths on it that look like they're getting a little bit of yellow around them. So I also had the Party Crasher. I have that arch that has Party Crasher and red Cyphastria, and then on top of it is a Goniopora. And I had it in too much light. It was right in the middle of the tank, so I moved it off to one side. And now the color on the Party Crasher is all coming back, because what was happening was the polyps were closing, and it started to turn like a charcoal gray color. And now the color is all starting to come back, because it's a gorgeous turquoise, like I don't know, like a blue. It's hard to describe the blue color with pink and yellow and red mouths on it. Like it is really pretty, and I'm so glad that I didn't lose them. But yeah.
Yeah, my meteor shower, it just started turning purple.
Oh yeah, you were saying that. You had two, right? Yeah, they're different colors. Yeah.
Yep. Now I got three. Benny gave me a gold one now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that one is the only one that I'm always having issues with. I don't know if there's too much lighting. Now I got it in the shade, so we'll see. And that's what I did last time. When I started doing that, I just threw it in the back of the tank and forgot about it. And one day it just came back.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's one of the things I want to do with some of the branching coral skeletons I have. The really big ones. Is I want to plant them in the sand so that the part that used to be at the bottom is upright, so the branches all go down like this.
Oh, nice.
And I want to put a different Cyphastria on each branch, and hopefully have them grow up the branch. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd look right on. That would be.
I have enough different ones now. I could probably glue like a small flat piece of rock beside the ones that I have now, and allow them to encrust over it, and then just break it off and use that as a frag. We'll see. We will see. Well, you know what? I should probably call it a night. It's 11:38 p.m. We still have 21 people.
Well, thank you very much for having me on.
Well, I'm glad you came in, David. I'm sorry to hear about the whole having to move and all of that. Thanks very much. That's rough to go through.
Well, we'll see if we can keep you updated, and maybe we'll get on another Saturday night in the future.
Yeah, yeah. Once you got something going, and that'd be great.
I'll definitely be watching on Saturday nights. I may not be able to participate all the time, but certainly be in the background watching. So
yeah, that's
cool. It's good talking to everybody. Nice. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of it. Thanks again for having me on. We'll see everybody later.
Thank you too. All right. Good.
All right.
So what do you think? Do you want to see some pictures? Do you want to see some pictures before you go? Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat? Before we say goodnight.
Let's see.
I had these pictures.
I know you had before pom-pom crabs, right?
Yep.
Now, have you seen them lose their anemone and then regrow them again?
I had one that lost one, and it took the other one and ripped it in two.
Okay.
And then they healed, and it had two again.
Well,
Yeah.
because mine, I remember mine not having none, and now he's
Oh,
walking again with two of them in his claw. How
wow.
that
He got him
happened?
from somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
he got
I
him from
wonder
somewhere
if they.
because,
Yeah,
yeah,
strange.
weird.
Yeah,
That's
out
weird.
of nowhere, and I thought it was dead, and out of nowhere now he's walking with two anemones in his claws or her
Huh,
claws.
that's good.
So
I love those things. I
unless
think I'm
unless they were laying somewhere in the reef and he managed
maybe
to
it
find them.
lost it and it found it again. Yeah,
Yep,
that's
maybe.
possible.
Yeah,
Well, those anemones are really sticky, so I
yeah,
suppose it's possible that it would have stuck
yeah,
somewhere and yeah, yeah. It's like
yeah.
losing your car keys. Then you
Yeah, I
have to go
only have
find
one
them.
left now.
Yeah, I had two, and I lost one, and I still had one,
Yeah,
and I think they have a lifespan too, though,
yeah, yeah.
because I
No,
had
mine
them
mine was when it
for
was molting. The hermit crab attacked them, and that's it.
oh
Didn't give
yeah,
it a chance.
yeah, no kidding.
All right, let's
Um,
see some
yeah.
pictures.
Okay, so I've had these for a while. So here's one of my new favorite pictures of my grandson. Okay,
Let me
ready?
see. Yeah.
Look at him.
Aww.
Oh my God.
What a cutie.
He is such
Wow,
a
he
happy
got
kid.
so big.
Yeah. And then there's this one. Okay, so
Ain't that was
when my
yesterday?
daughter, pardon?
Ain't that was
He's
yesterday when he was born?
yeah,
Gee.
he's 7 months old now, if you can believe it.
Wow, time fly.
They do
Wow.
this and they do this thing now. When my daughter was little, you when you introduced your baby to solid foods, it was all puree and things like that. Well,
Yep.
they don't do that anymore. You just give them whatever you're having.
Yeah.
And like
Wow.
there are some limits, but they just
Yeah, yeah.
whatever they're having, they give them some. So here we go.
Mm. Let's see,
This
let's see.
is yogurt.
Nice.
It's it's just
Beautiful.
hilarious and messy, right? So
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
yogurt. Okay, this was today. And this
yeah.
is eggs for breakfast. Can you believe it?
He's so happy. Oh my God. God
I
bless
know
him.
he is. And then this
He's
is
so
when they were at the
cute.
cottage,
Mm-hmm.
sitting in the
Yeah,
chair
yeah. Taking his sun
with his
time.
sunglasses on. Anyway,
Beautiful. God bless
so
him.
thank you, thank you for indulging me. I know, like who wants to look at pictures of your grandchild, right? But
No, of course, of course.
anyway, I guess that's my prerogative as the
Hmm.
hostess here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Oh,
Tony
that
Close UK,
became
you're
part of the
welcome.
stream. That became part of
Yep.
the stream now at the end. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming, Hector. It's always nice to see you. And I
Yeah.
have to get
Same.
back and watch some of your videos because I've just been uh, the the disaster. So
I
tomorrow,
haven't turned.
hopefully, I'll
I haven't turned the
part.
camera because now you got to get out and to switch the camera. I don't know how to do it no more.
Oh,
So that's why
yeah,
you can see me. They changed this whole setup. So I'm sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
It's always fun to come in and I always enjoy the stream. And like I said, it was sad to hear what you went through, and it's been a horrible year. It's been a horrible week.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just happy for everybody, and
yeah,
hopefully from now on things start coming down, so we go into the colder months,
yeah.
and that's it, man. This nightmare be all over.
You just have to keep going. That's all you can really
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
wife now is
definitely.
finally walking about an hour a day now without the oxygen, so she's getting better.
Oh, that's
Uh,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
it's
a good sign.
very, very scary.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
they gave her 3 months
um,
with the oxygen, so I think it's gonna be less now. So
yeah. Well, I'm
we'll
glad
see,
to
day
hear
by
that.
day, day by day.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm staying home. I'm staying away from people.
yeah, yep,
Um,
yeah. Protect
And
yourself always, always, always. That's very important to do.
yep, it's all you
Not.
really
It's
can
not
do.
like a lot. A lot of people say, "Oh, yeah, it's like the flu." No, it's not, and it's not. It's
Mm-mm.
not. I can say I thought the same thing. You know, it feels like
Yeah.
it, but it has a kick to it. And it just is it's totally different. You will feel totally different. A flu is 1, 2, 3 days is over. This thing
Yep.
just go. It just keep going, goes
Yep.
and comes and go whenever it please, and do with you whatever it wants.
Yep.
You don't have no
Yeah,
control.
and there are effects, after effects that
Yeah.
like what they're showing, like what they're finding out is people are going to
Hmm.
have lifelong impact from this. They're not sure lifelong, but certainly
Yeah.
after effects that just don't go away.
Yeah.
So,
My stepson lost the smell. He could taste, but he can smell nothing.
oh
Um,
yeah.
Me, I be getting headaches out of nowhere. I never got headaches like that, random.
Mhm.
The wife got pneumonia now. She had asthma. Now
Wow.
she got the worst pneumonia now. So
Hmm.
it's just crazy. It's crazy. So
Well,
just extra
yeah, well,
precaution for us and for everybody. It's
yeah.
serious.
And take care of each other and you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. I
day
know
by
a lot
day
of
like you
people don't
said.
want to wear the mask and this and
Oh,
that. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. I understand when you're not around a lot of people. But still, not for only. Don't do it for yourself. Do it for others.
mhm.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So, cause you can lose somebody just like that
And
when
I
her was
think
this close.
that's the news that people need to start hearing about is the ordinary healthy people
Yeah,
that passed away because of it, that you would never think could get that
yeah,
sick.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I don't think there's enough information out there about that.
Mhm,
So,
mhm. Yeah, you'd be
yeah.
surprised. It's just and it will mess with you mentally also. I
Yep.
know that a lot got a lot to do with the news and spreading all this fear
Mhm. Mhm.
and all that, but it
Yeah.
do mess with you mentally. So,
Yep. For sure.
but
Well,
yeah, just
we're
stay
social
safe, stay
creatures.
protected, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
All
Well,
right,
take
Cindy.
care of yourself. Good night. And good
Thank
night,
you.
everybody in
Good
the
night.
chat.
Good
Thank you
night,
for hanging
everybody.
in there. And
Always. Oh,
we'll see you next week. And
yeah. I'll be here.
I'm touching wood that nothing else is gonna happen. So we'll
I gotta
see.
find some wood
Right?
also, cause oh man,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
when I had my last leak in the tank was because I was messing with to make the tank silent, and
Mhm.
that's when the water I get found its way, because water is like a magnet to water, so it found its
Yeah.
way and started leaking. So I don't just leave it alone. I don't care. Stay like that. I don't want to deal with it. I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm done.
Sometimes you gotta walk away.
Yes, yes. And this is my time to walk away. Just stay like this. Don't mess up. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll be on next week.
All right. Good.
All right. Have a good
We'll.
week. And I see you
Yep.
next Saturday.
Yeah. And
All right.
good night, everybody.
Good night.
And thank you so much for coming by,
No,
everyone,
no,
because it's been a
no
good
problem.
night.
Definitely was.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye bye, Cindy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.